Welcome back, True Seeker. I want to talk about two things in regards to last night's Monday Night Football game. Before the game began, they showed that Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Steelers, was 12-0 all-time on Monday Night Football. He never lost, and they mentioned that the only other NFL coach in history that's never lost on Monday Night Football is John Madden, who also called Monday Night Football for a long time. And with regards to Mike Tomlin having the possibility of becoming 13-0, which he did, it was interesting that Tony Dungy was being inducted into the Tampa Bay Hall of Fame on the same night, a span of 13 days from his upcoming birthday. And consider, Mike Tomlin and Tony Dungy are the two NFL coaches in history that happen to be black and have won the Super Bowl. No other black coaches in history have won the Super Bowl besides Mike Tomlin and Tony Dungy. You think this stuff's coincidental? It's not. And something I have to start looking for when I make picks, because I think the easiest way to pick a game is if you know that a home team is inducting somebody into their Ring of Honor or their Hall of Fame or retiring someone's jersey. Nearly every single time that there's one of those types of celebrations, the home team loses. And since I've been observing this, it's got to be a ratio of something like 95 out of 100 times the home team loses when they're doing this type of halftime ceremony. It's all part of the ritual very clearly. You know, we just saw this with Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds just had his jersey retired by the numbers for San Francisco, and they were playing the Pittsburgh Pirates, his old baseball team, and the Pirates won, picked up their 61st win of the season, 61 the 18th prime. Remember the 61 home runs and 61 baseball equals 18. I showed how Barry Bonds' jersey retirement was 73 days from the start of the 114th World Series. He hit the record 73 home runs. San Francisco Giants equals 114. If you missed my video on Barry Bonds' jersey retirement, check it out. It truly was mind-blowing how well they synced up the whole thing. It was 18 days after his 54th birthday. Baseball equals 54 and 18. The name Barry Bonds equals 118. They retired his jersey August 11th, 11/8. In every single way they could have scripted the Barry Bonds jersey retirement, they did. And last night was a nice ritual with the Steelers and Bucks. If you watched my preview video for this, I said why the game was going to be all about 30. Tampa equals 30, Steelers equals 113, the 30th prime. I was torn on who would win this game, and I did favor the Bucks, so I was favoring the wrong team. But I did say the game was going to be all about 30. And with regards to 30, let's talk about the player of the game, James Conner, number 30. James Conner got honored as the player of the game for Monday Night Football. I want to show you all that was encoded in this ritual. Again, Steelers equals 113. It's the 30th prime number. Tampa, where the game was, equals 30. Conner equals 30. Conner wears the number 30. If you've seen my work going back to 2014, I've said learn Gematria and apply it to running back names because the majority of running backs in the NFL, their names also sum to 33. Conner's also 33. His name's James Conner. James and Conner happen to be 33. MNF 33. The game came 33 weeks after the Tampa Bay Bucks coach's birthday. He went down. Part of the big story with James Conner is how he overcame cancer, and there couldn't have been a better day to honor this fact about his history, showing that it was all scripted this way so perfectly. Yesterday's game had 44 numerology and 26 numerology, just like how cancer has Gematria 44 and 26. And better yet, the game came on his 143rd day of his age. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 143. Football credited to the Scottish Rite Freemason Walter Camp. You know? And let's just emphasize this point about Walter Camp and Freemasonry and how he went to Yale and where the term football must come from. Because why did they call the game football anyway? There was already a sport called football that makes more sense to call football. Why did they call our version of football football? Well, it's because it was all thought out by the Masons. Look at the name Walter Camp. Now look at Freemasonry. Do you see how Walter Camp and Freemasonry are perfect in both of these ciphers? Walter Camp went to Yale, right? Notice the Gematria 43 for Yale. Look at football. 43. Look at Masonic 43. You know, last night's game was in Florida. Florida's got 3 football teams. One of them's in Jacksonville. Remember how Jacksonville just came out of nowhere their first season and just dominated the NFL? Because it's all scripted. Anyway, Jacksonville 43, of course. But it came out as the 143rd day of his age. James Conner, you know, player of the game, number 30, putting it away, running all over the Bucks. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry 143. Look at the score, 30-27, 57 points. Scottish Rite 57. See how it works? For the stats, I had to laugh. The leading rusher for the Bucks had 33 yards. Again, MNF 33. The leading receiver for Tampa Bay had 137 yards, the 33rd prime. Again, everything scripted from the final score to the box score. What do I tell you guys every week about Sunday Night Football? The number's 39 every single week. What were the first 2 things that happened in the game Sunday Night Football? The Lions kick a 39-yard field goal, and then what do they put up on the screen right after that? The Lions defense is averaging giving up 39 points per game this season. They gave up 48. Remember, they gave up 48 on Monday Night Football in week 1, 48. They gave it up to Sam, 48, you know. They gave it up to the New York Jets, 48. The 2 winning scores that night were 33 and 48 for the first Monday Night Football. But anyway, the Lions gave up 48 points the first game, 30 the next game. The average of 48 plus 30 is 39. So on Sunday Night Football, the Lions started off with a 39 field goal, and then they put up the stat about how they're giving up 39 yards per game. And I did mention in that Sunday Night Football, the upset riddle was this. Patriots equals 37. Detroit equals 37. 37's the 12th prime. Both teams could potentially be 1-2 with the Lions upset. Josh Gordon sitting on the sideline all night. Gordon 37. Remember how I predicted Gordon would go to the Patriots 157 days from his birthday, the 37th prime? The day he did, the Monday before last. I also said I expected the Patriots to win 13 games this season. They're going to have to finish strong, but remember, it's the 99th NFL season, 1399. Part of the riddle with this thing here, Tomlin becoming 13-0 on Monday Night Football. The retirement ceremony with Dungy, 13 days from his birthday. The week of September 23rd, the day leaving 99 days left in the year. Again, I feel bad for all the people in the comments who watch these videos and leave the comments like, this is so stupid. The same people that can't see how rigged these games are. What, did you like Fitzpatrick with his receiver right in front of him, like 10 feet in front of him, and he lofts it over his head right to the Steelers DB so he can run it back in the end zone? Do you really think these guys are that bad at football? You know? If you do, it's because you can't throw a football yourself. I'll tell you what, I've never thrown a football that bad in my life, not since I was 7 years old. That's why I laugh at these sports leagues watching the things they do. You got to be drunk, as most fans are, to not see it. You don't get paid millions of dollars and throw a football like that ever in your life, period. If you know how to throw a football, you know how to throw a football, you know? And some of these guys don't even belong in the league. Like Dak Prescott, God, that guy can't even throw the ball 30 yards down the field. My goodness. Go back and watch that QB skills challenge he was in. It was embarrassing. He was the worst quarterback out there. The worst. Embarrassing. He couldn't even hit the monster target that wasn't that far down there. Cowboys. Ugh. All of you guys who cough up the big money for these games, you are funding a racket. Until next time, Truth Seeker.